This sculpture is a bust of Nelson Tift. Nelson Tift settled the area as a commercial venture in 1836 in the hopes of establishing a cotton trade using the river to transport the crop to the market. He named it Albany in honor of Albany, New York, which was also at the head of the navigation on the river. This is Nelson Tift, and this is Albany, Georgia. Let's go. Welcome to another P9 video. I am here in Albany, Georgia. Albany is a city located in the southwestern corner of Georgia. It is the county seat of Dougherty County and the sole incorporated city in Dougherty County as of 2025. And the population as of 2025 is 68,089. So it's a mid-sized city right here in Georgia. And I'm right over here on Jackson Street by the Albany Arts Council. Founding president Charles Jones. And this is the courtyard right in front of the Albany Municipal Auditorium. As you can see right here. So outside of the Arts Council is this sculpture right here that was designed by the Albany Area Arts Council in January 2022, funded by AARP. And it looks like, I don't know, it looks like a turtle with glasses on and an old wig or something. One of those old hair pieces or whatever that is. It's a pretty cool art piece though. Really nice. And this building actually which houses the Arts Council was once the Carnegie Library, which was built in 1906. Architected by David Maschke and general contracted by Kinney Construction Company back in 1906. At the time, F.T. Coleman and Paul Keenan was on the city commission, and they all eventually became mayors. But just to give a little background on Albany, Albany first came into prominence in the 19th century. It was a major shipping and market center due to its position on the Flint River. Now, the Flint River is where the Creek Indians had was inhabited back in the early times of Albany, before it became Albany actually. And they inhabited the Flint River. And Flint was actually named, it's called the Flint River because there were a bunch of minerals found in the beds that were called flints. They were very valuable minerals. And the Creek Indians called it Thronatiska, which was the native Indian language for Flint. So that's where the Flint River got its name from. And again, that is where Albany is located. Right across the street over here at the corner of Jackson and Pine is the Dougherty County Public Library. But I'm gonna go ahead and continue down this way. And I also want to mention that Albany played a huge part in the civil rights era of the 1950s and 60s. So we're probably going to be seeing some history as it pertains to that right here. And look at this building right here. It looks like it may possibly be like a hotel or maybe not a hotel, but like a residential building. So the street I'm on right now is Pine Avenue. So it looks like a lot of the government buildings are on this street right here. You have the Judicial Building. And there's a government center across the street. I'm gonna go over there in just a second. And that sun is really out now. That sun is beaming now. I knew it was only a matter of time. And right in front of this judicial building is a couple of historical markers. One that gives the history of Dougherty County, which was created by an act of legislature in December of 1853 and named for Charles Dougherty of Athens, a noted antebellum lawyer. And Colonel Nelson Tift, there's a marker for Nelson Tift, who was a founder of the city of Albany and was born in Connecticut, July 23rd, 1810. And he established a mercantile business in Augusta, Georgia. And politically active, Colonel Tift served as Justice of the Peace, delegate to the state convention. So he made his way down here during the 1800s. He also owned an extensive plantation, operated lumber, flour, and corn mills, and promoted the building of several railroads, and edited and published the Albany Patriot. So that's actually where Tift County is named after. Tift County, which is not far from Valdosta. It's not too far from Albany either. It's probably less than an hour's drive from here. But it is, it's basically where Tifton, the city of Tifton, is located. I'm gonna go ahead and cross over here and make my way down further Pine Street. I'm gonna go over there by City Hall. But I've actually been to Albany before, me personally. I've never been, it's the first time I've ever been downtown Albany. I've actually driven through Albany on the outskirts of downtown en route to like cities like Montgomery, Alabama, from Florida. So I came through Albany via Highway 82. But this is my first time actually going downtown. It's pretty nice, not bad. See this fountain right here in front of the government center? And here goes some civil rights history. And this is Freedom Alley in City Hall. And Albany, again, played a big part in the civil rights movement. And it was during the Albany movement that took place from 1961 to 1963 as part of the civil rights movement. The area here bordered the former Albany City Hall, and jail became known as Freedom Alley. Located at what is now Central Square Government Complex, the location served as the holding spot as hundreds of civil rights protesters awaited booking during Police Chief Laurie Pritchett's campaign of mass arrests. To avoid confrontations and charges of violating civil rights, Pritchett authorized arrests for minor offenses which were harder to dispute in court. Using this tactic, Pritchett's police force arrested far more inmates than the Albany jail could hold, and many protests were sent to jails in neighboring counties. As many as 1,500 protesters were arrested. Many demonstrations, including Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., were arrested and jailed multiple times during the Albany movement. And this was erected by the Georgia Historical Society, Albany Civil Rights Institute, Inc., and Albany Doherty Historic Preservation Commission. Okay. Yeah, typical with demonstrations that took place during the civil rights era, the Jim Crow era and whatnot. Civil rights movement, there were several arrests. And yeah, it was so many arrests that, you know, the jails just could not hold any more inmates. It's crazy, crazy, tumultuous times, though, that civil rights era was. But it was all worth it at the end. I'll make my way further down Pine. Now check this out. It's another sculpture. It's a turtle right here. Intelligence plus character, that the true goal of education. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'm just reading one of the quotes right here on this little stone right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is the 4C Academy. And this was done by the 4C Academy as part of the College and Career Academy. So this is a really dope sculpture right here. And this building right here is the Doherty County School System Administration Building. And right across the street over there is the Albany Herald, which is the publication for Albany, Georgia. Yeah, those buildings over across the street look abandoned. Now we're starting to see some of the decay that's common in many of these cities. It looks like the only functional establishment across the street from what I'm seeing right here is that bar right there. It's a bar and grill called 7 Even. It looks to be the only functional establishment over there. I'm walking down, what's this street? Washington Street. Now I'm at the corner of Washington Street and Broad Avenue. And this is the courthouse building, the U.S. courthouse. But before I proceed over there, this is a marker of C.B. Shaveen Bowers King. C.B. King dreamed of becoming a lawyer. He had served in the U.S. Navy and graduated from Fisk University. Because there was no law school for blacks in segregated Georgia, he earned a law degree from Case Western University Law School in Cleveland, Ohio. He returned to Albany as its first black lawyer and waged a lifelong battle against racism and injustice. C.B. King was a courageous, eloquent, and effective civil rights lawyer. He believed in using the courts for change and steered courtroom victories to desegregate schools, protect students' rights, enforce voting rights, eliminate jury and employment discrimination, open public accommodations for all, and end police brutality. He was respected and admired by leaders of the civil rights movement who sought his advice and counsel. He also worked zealously with the NAACP and the NAACP Legal Defense Fund and served as counsel for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He litigated many of civil rights cases in the U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Georgia. So he always conducted himself with honor and respect for the judicial system. And in 1962, C.B. King became the first black to run for U.S. Congress from South Georgia, and in 1970 became the first black since Reconstruction to run for governor of Georgia. He was an eloquent orator and superior legal scholar who inspired several generations of young lawyers to practice law with the commitment to the oppressed. So, yes, he did all of this in spite of all the insults, threats from the establishment, particularly racism that was prominent during that time. So C.B. King did accomplish a lot, becoming a lawyer and congressman. So shout out to C.B. King. And this here is just a list of all the Bill of Rights, amendments 1 through 10. You know, freedom of speech. Of course, that's the biggest one. You know, of course, keep and bear arms. That's another big one. I mean, all of these are important, but, you know, those top two for sure. Like, you know, so I'm gonna proceed down this way. And here's a facade of this U.S. courthouse. Now, given the color of the bricks, the cream colored bricks, you know, and the structure looks relatively modern. Here's a Chamber of Commerce building right here. Got a couple of barbershops down this way. One's called Blade Kings. The other one is DJ's Barber and Beauty. Right over here at that corner right there. Huh. And check this out right here. Check out this sculpture of this turtle. You got the shell right here, which is the back of it, which I guess represents the jersey. And this is the front of the sculpture, helmet and all. And this is called the gridiron. This sculpture is called the gridiron. And it's part of the Trail of Turtles sculpture. And the beneficiary of this is Albany High School. So these are apparently Albany High School colors, I believe. They're the Indians. That's the mascot, the Indians. And the artists are the Albany High School cheerleaders and Ruthie Mayhew. So shout out to those individuals. Turtle Grove Turtle Stew. This is really nice. Albany High School cheerleaders and Ruthie Mayhew. Again, shout out to the locals who make these, who jazz up these downtown areas, make them look real nice. Here's another turtle sculpture. This one's called Pirates of the Flint. Pirates of the Flint. And the benefactor of this is Draffin and Tucker. The artist is Derek Taylor. Shout out to Derek Taylor for this sculpture, Pirates of the Flint. And I don't know. It's a nice sculpture, but it looks like it's been, I don't know, it looks like it's doing some peeling, like the paint's peeled or whatever the case may be. Nevertheless, nice sculpture. Some more abandoned storefronts. This one's actually for sale. For anybody looking to, open up a business. This this lot right here, this particular parcel or whatever the case may be, this building is for sale. So as you can see right here. They say they have a lounge, Havana Lounge. I don't know if it's open. Highly doubt it. No, it's definitely not open. Maybe it'll open later. Maybe it'll open tonight if it's I don't know if it's a functional establishment. This looks like another abandoned storefront. Another abandoned storefront right here as well. But this building is called the Nelson Tiff Building. So this building over here is actually part of the National Register of Historic Places. So it's an historic building, but they just have a lot of abandoned storefronts over in this part. And this one is for sale for office and retail space. So if you're interested, they go the number right there. Yep, another abandoned storefront right here. They have a functional establishment right here. It's a pawn shop. And they have an Albany shirt shop, so you can get your custom shirts over here. Albany shirt shop. So they got a couple of establishments that are functional. But this is another abandoned storefront that used to be a computer repair establishment. Now, I just read that Albany has the highest concentration of poverty in the state of Georgia and in any other metro area in the state of Georgia. So that's very telling, because you could tell there's quite a few abandoned spots downtown at Albany. I'm gonna go check out the Riverfront to see what's going on over there, see if there's much development in that area. But not much, not a whole lot going on downtown, in the immediate downtown area, aside from a few, government buildings, a couple of barbershops, and a few little like establishments like the shirt shop we just saw. But outside of that, not much economic activity going on. But we're getting closer to the Flint River, so we're going to see what's going on in this area. And there's a building across the street, which looks like it used to be a warehouse or possibly a garage that sold tires, perhaps. It's abandoned. Then you have this abandoned building over here. So it did look like a few minutes ago when I was over at those other abandoned storefronts, it did look like the downtown Albany is trying to attract a few businesses, but I don't know. I mean, it's not even a lot of foot traffic down here. And again, it's due in large part probably because there's a lot of poverty here in Albany. And as I mentioned not too long ago, the most impoverished metro area in the state of Georgia. And you think you have the Macon metro area, you have, of course, Atlanta metro area, and you have what else? You have the Augusta metro area, and you can throw Athens in there, even though Athens technically is statistically part of the Atlanta metro. They do kind of have their own metro area as well. So I just listed off 5 other. Oh yeah, in Columbus as well, the Columbus metro area. For the most part, it seems like all those metro areas seem to be doing good economically. I haven't been to Athens or Augusta yet. I do plan on going to those areas one of these days. But yeah, they do have a metro. I mean, they have a Hilton. I was about to say metro. They have a Hilton hotel over there across the street. And there's a little park over here by the river. So they have a little something down here, at least where people can go hang out and for recreational purposes. They have a park right over here, playground area. They have some benches where you can sit around the tree, but yeah, they have the playground over here. And this area is actually called the Turtle Grove Park. There goes a colorful turtle sculpture right there. Now this building right here is called the Bridge House. This is an historic building right here by the Riverfront in Albany. And this is the Bridge House. This is a marker that says, here at the site of an early ferry over the Flint River, Colonel Nelson Tift, owner of bridge and ferry rights and the founder of Albany, had a toll bridge constructed by a well-known bridge builder, a free slave named Horace of Columbus. I think I have ran across his name before in a previous video. But anyway, at the same time in 1857, Colonel Tift built this bridge house with the archway serving as entrance to the bridge. The bridge keeper occupied one side of the ground floor, Colonel Tift's office the other. The second floor was a theater known as Tift's Hall. Decorated by New York artists, it was considered the most beautiful in the state. Many leading actors and actresses, Laura Keene, Southern Miss Oates, Sol Smith Russell, Harry McCarthy, the Crisp family, the Templetons appeared on its stage. At the Social Center of Albany, dances, mass balls, public social events were held. During the war between the states, the great cellars of this building were converted into packing houses and the backyard became a slaughter pen. Thousands of cattle, hogs, and sheep were barreled in the pickle for the use of the Confederate Navy. The Bridge House. It is now occupied by and used as the Albany Welcome Center, as you can see right here. And the Bridge House was built again in 1857. I'm gonna walk across here. Still over here at the Riverfront Park in Albany, Georgia. And again, this is the Flint River. As I mentioned earlier, during the indigenous era, the Native Americans inhabited this area, and there were plenty of flints, aka valuable minerals, that were located in this area, which is again why the river was named the Flint River. Yes, this is the riverfront right here. There goes that Flint River. There goes a railroad bridge over the Flint River as it flows ever so gently. Yes, they also have a walking trail over here, right by the water. You know, they have a walking trail. They actually have it's called the River Walk, more specifically. Let me walk up this way. Looks like there's some establishments over here across the street. They have a coffee shop called Cornerstone. They have an ice cream shop, which I figured once I got closer to the riverfront, there was going to be a lot more like development and shops and stuff like that, which makes sense because that's where a lot of people hang out. This right here is a museum called the Flint River Aquarium. So if you're interested in visiting Albany and you have the kids, they have an aquarium right here It's more specifically called the Flint River Aquarium. Hey, how you doing? Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. For the YouTube. Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh yeah, just getting the area, getting some, and you know, and just I'm from originally Montgomery, not too far. Yeah, not too far. So, you know, that's actually where I'm on my way to, just passing through.
Oh, you just passed through?
Yeah, sir.
Oh, I thought you were hanging out here for a while.
You from here?
Yeah, I'm from down about 20 minutes from the kind
Oh, okay. Okay.
They got a little ride.
Oh, okay. You basically grew up in the area?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Okay. How was it growing up out here in Albany?
Albany used to be the place to be.
Oh yeah.
But it went down.
I could tell when I was walking around. I was like, man, a lot of abandoned.
Florida,
Yeah.
everywhere to come to Albany.
Oh wow.
Now, man,
Yeah.
Can't hardly find nothing to do.
It seems like this is pretty much the only thing, you know, that has people, that a good amount of people hanging out, chilling, you know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't find nothing to do. It ain't have nowhere to go. You know, I'm off tomorrow, so I'm probably get 809 tonight. Check out who's going 809 tonight.
809. Okay.
Yeah,
Is that like a restaurant or something?
Like a little, but older, about 30 of them, you know, about age and up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, a little chill, like a little bar area.
Okay.
Bar area, right?
Well, that's good. At least they have something that to keep it, you know, like some entertainment type thing, you know.
You want to get that wild and
Yeah. You know, you know, it's good to have something for the people to vibe to. And you know, we got any thing we can have around here to, you know, just keep the people going, because, you know, it's.
Yeah, we need something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's for sure, man. Like the more activity there is, the more the kids can stay occupied doing something. You know, it can keep them out of trouble, and that's what we need more of. You know. Yeah, absolutely, man. But but it was good. It was good meeting you. What's your name?
My name Roland, man.
Roland.
Yeah, you got the in town for the day?
Yeah, I'll probably head out like in the next hour or so.
Yeah, let me give you your number and something other, and next time you here.
Yeah, and you know,
And from Montgomery, Alabama, you think so?
Yeah, I'm from Montgomery. So I have a YouTube channel, and you know, and if you want to check out the video, you know, I'll give you the channel name and everything.
Right.
Over here across the street from the Riverfront Aquarium, and this is a brewery right here called the Pretoria Fields Brewery. So like I said, this is probably where the most activity, 9 times out of 10, takes place, economic activity, due to its location next to the Flint River. Had to come to this other side of the river to come get this really nicely developed park over here. Now this is called the Ray Charles Park, as you're about to see why in just a second. But look at these piano keys in tribute to the icon Ray Charles. And this, again, this sits right across from the Hilton Hotel. So it's the hotel is situated in a very opportune location, as it's located right across from this park. And check this out. It's a sculpture of Ray Charles sitting at the piano playing. Ray Charles Plaza has the fountain right here. And Ray Charles actually grew up here in Albany, Georgia. Really nicely developed park over here. Again, there goes the Flint River. So that statue is perched in a perfect area. There's also a picnic area over there with gazebos and everything like that. So yeah, really dope sculpture of Mr. Ray Charles over here. But that concludes the downtown portion of the video. RIP to Ray Charles. Who was a huge influence on R&B, soul, blues, country, and jazz. Pioneered the soul music genre during the 1950s and beyond. In the 60s, he crossed over into pop. So yeah, shout out to Ray Charles. Really nicely designed park right here in downtown Albany. On the campus of Albany State University, historically black university here in Albany. Thought I'd do a little drive through of the campus. Home of the Albany State University Rams. There goes one of the buildings right there. R.H. Simmons Hall. Old President's house right over here. Now this is the main campus of Albany State University. And it was established in 1874. And it was founded in 1903. But the founder of the school was born in 1874. His name is Joseph Winthrop Holly. And he was born to former slaves. So he figured, he'll establish a historically black university right here in Southwest Georgia. Around all this farmland and whatnot. Just wanted to get a glimpse of the college. There's another part of the campus. It's the Jones Brothers Health, Physical Education, Recreation Center. So that's what Albany State's rec centers look like. Also looks like they're building something right over here. Constructing something over there. And there even goes the Albany State University van. Now I'm just doing a little ride through the city. And this will be the last portion of the video. They even have this arch right here that sits by the river, Flint River. Guys can still hear me over this AC. So extremely hot outside. Past the Albany Transportation Center, where all the city buses gather. When I'm on Oglethorpe Boulevard. for the Albany, Georgia vlog. Thanks to everyone who took the time to watch this video. And if you made it this far, make sure you hit the like button. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button along with the notification bell. That way you get notified each and every time I drop a new vlog. And with that in mind, good people, take care and have yourselves a great evening. Peace.